Hey, what's good, YouTube subscribers? How y'all doing tonight? It's your boy MG5 back again with another sports video. And tonight, y'all, hey, we got to talk about boxing. We got to talk about boxing. We have a big boxing fight going down tomorrow night, Saturday night, live in Brooklyn, New York. Come on, y'all. Y'all already know what fight I'm talking about, man. The return of Gervonta Tank Davis. Whoo! Hey, man, we got Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. This is gonna be this gonna be a good fight right here. This gonna be a good fight right here. And I think what's going to make this a good fight is that they are familiar with each other, growing up in the same neighborhoods or the same cities, being around in the same gyms, fighting twice in the amateurs. So they've shared the ring a few times, y'all. So it's going to be a good fight, just for that. I feel like most of Tank's opponents, they don't know Tank. So when Tank's talking trash or he's just saying random things, it could rattle them up or they don't know what to expect. Lamont Roach, he has this poise and he seems pretty calm because he knows Tank. He knows what to expect. So I don't think Roach is going to be timid or scared like all these other fighters when they fight Tank. But we're going to see. It's going to be a good fight, y'all. And the rest of that card is a good card, man. There's some good fights on this card. But y'all know how we do things around here. I got to give y'all my thoughts, break it down, and give y'all my final fight predictions for the main event, man. Tank versus Roach. It's going down. Hey, y'all. Let's get it, man. Let's get straight to it. I can't wait for this fight. But before we get to it, shout out to my sponsorship, W Energy. Y'all can go ahead and check them out on their website, man. For you gym rats out there, they got everything y'all need. Protein powder, the energy drinks, whatever y'all like to do, man. They got it for y'all. So go ahead and check that out. And y'all can use my promo code MG5Sports and get 20% off for your first purchase. But shout out W Energy. But yes, sir, y'all. Yes, sir, y'all. So we start in 2025 off pretty cool for boxing so far. We've had some good fights, and now we have Tank versus Roach. My thoughts on this fight, I'm not going to lie. Look, I'm going to keep it a buck. Out of all the boxers and out of all the fighters, I've seen Tank fight the most. And I think I've seen Tank, I've been watching his fights for years. So I've seen Tank fight the most, man. And I do think Tank should fight. I think he could be fighting a better opponent. I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm not trying to knock Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, he is a good fighter, but he's coming up from a lower weight class. He's the WBA champion at 130. He's going up to 135, fighting Tank for his WBA title. So, and the thing what makes this fight interesting is that they know each other. They're familiar with each other. So, I do think Lamont Roach has skills. I'm not knocking him. I do think he's a good fighter, and he's probably going to show up and show out. I think he's ready for this fight. But, watching Tank fight for so long, we do want to see him fight one of those superstars. Like, we want to see Tank fight Shakur. He did beat Ryan Garcia, so I give him that. But, hey, we all kind of want to see the Shakur fight. Or we just want to see him fight one of the best. And that's it. As a real boxing fan, we just want to see the best fight the best. But I'm not here to knock Tank. I'm a big fan of Tank. And I do think for American boxing, he is the face of boxing. Now, the whole face of boxing, you have Canelo Alvarez. But I think Tank Davis is, in my opinion, I think he's up there, too, as the face of boxing. 30-0 with 28 knockouts. That's what the fans, that's what people want to see. We come here to be entertained, and we want to see knockouts, and that's what Tank, whoever you put him in the ring with, that's what he produces, knockouts and excitement. But he's taking on Lamont Roach, who is 25-1-1 with 10 knockouts. So, he got a little bit of power. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. The thing is about Lamont Roach, I think I've seen him fight a few times. He's really good at ring control. He's good at picking his shots. And honestly, he does have really good skills. He knows when to throw the right combinations at the right time. And he has, I'm not going to say he has that type of power, but he does have a killer instinct where if he sees you hurt, he's going to try to get you out of there. So I do think Lamont Roach is all around, and I think he is a good fighter. But, he has a good jab, good combos, good footwork. You know what I mean? Good ring IQ. He knows how to, good ring control. He's good. He's a good fighter. But everything that Lamont Roach does, I think Tank does better, but plus the knockout power. Everything that Lamont Roach does, I think Tank does better, but plus the knockout power. So that's where I think the problem is in this fight. And he's coming up from a different weight class, but that doesn't really mean anything because Tank's not a guy who cuts a lot of weight anyways. Tank probably walks around at 145, 150. He don't cut that much weight, so they probably weigh the same. I think Lamont Roach, he has to go out there and he's going to have to fight. He's going to have to mix it up. Don't show Tank your game plan right away. We know Tank starts off slow. So if I'm Lamont Roach, man, I'm staying in the middle of the ring and I'm going to throw my combinations. I'm going to fight the first 3 rounds. I'm going to make Tank think, we're going to bring the fight to Tank the first 3 rounds if I'm Lamont Roach. And then after that, when Tank starts to, calculate and start to throw, that's when we going to box. I think Lamont Roach has to mix it up. I think for him to win this fight or to shock the world, he's going to have to mix it up. He's going to have to fight Tank. He's going to have to box. He's going to have to counterpunch. He's going to have to use the ring, take control of the middle, push Tank back, and use the whole ring when he gets on his bike. Lamont Roach does have the skill set to win this fight, but me personally, I don't think he has enough power to keep Tank off of him. We all know how Tank fights. He starts off slow, and then once he downloads the information, he'll start to walk you down, and he'll start to place his shots. The thing what makes Tank a difficult fight is that he's one of the most accurate power punchers in boxing today, or he is the most accurate power puncher in the game right now. So, Tank, he can box, man. He can fight. He could go forward. He can go backwards. He can counterpunch. He has a bag, man. He has a skill set, and that's where people fall asleep on Tank. They just think he's a power puncher. No, this dude can actually box. You know what I mean? He can actually box. He can fight on the back foot if he wanted to. He can counterpunch all day if he wanted to. But Tank brings excitement, man. He has that knockout power. He has that explosiveness. He has that killer instinct. And I think this is going to be a great fight. I think Lamont Roach may bring the best out of Tank because they know each other. I could see Roach actually winning the beginning of the fight, but I think around round 7 or round 8, that's where it's going to start to change. And, I think Tank is going to pick up on it, and them shots are going to be a little bit too much for Roach, man. They're going to be a little bit too much. But don't be surprised if Lamont Roach, if he makes Tank stumble. Don't be surprised. But I think round 8, round 9, round 10, that's where Tank is going to take control of the fight. And, I think that's where he'll potentially get the stoppage. And that's my final prediction on this fight. I think it's going to be very technical in the beginning. I think Roach is going to have his moments, especially round 5, 6, and 7. But then I think 8, 9, and 10, I'm going to go with Tank. I think round 9, Tank's going to get the knockdown. And round 10, I think he'll get the stoppage. So I got Tank Davis winning this fight, 10th round stoppage. And I think Lamont Roach, he is a good fighter. He's a world champion. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But I just think at the end of the day, I don't think he has enough power to keep Tank off of him. And I think when you fight someone like Tank, you got to have everything. You got to have everything in your bag. And, I expect Tank to win this fight by knockout and then move on to the next big fight. And, potentially I would love to see Tank fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that fight. That, to me, that's the biggest fight to make for American boxing is Tank versus Shakur. But we'll see. First, he got to get past Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, that ain't going to be no easy fight. Lamont Roach is confident. He's a good fighter. He believes in himself. They're both in their primes. So, hey, I just think, you know, Tank, he can do it all, man. He got the counter punching. He can box. He can go forward. He can go backwards. To me, he got the fastest hands in the game, you know, besides Inoue and the smaller fighters. But at 130 and up, I think Tank got the fastest hands at 130, 135, 140, 140. It don't matter, man. I think Tank got one of the fastest hands, and he got good footwork, good foot speed. It's gonna be tough to fight someone like Tank, man. You got to be all around. And at the end of the day, y'all, I don't think Lamont Roach has enough punching power to keep Tank off of him. But that's my final predictions. I got Tank Davis winning this fight, 10th round stoppage. Or it's going to be round 9 or round 10, somewhere around there. But I'm going to go round 10 for my final prediction. Anyways, y'all, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment. And make sure y'all share this video. I can't wait for this fight. Make sure y'all tune in. Gervonta Tank Davis is back, and anytime he's in a fight, it's an exciting fight. He always sells out, and you know, that's the face of boxing right there. That's the face of American boxing right there, man. So hey, shout out to Tank Davis, and we're gonna see what happens. But y'all stay up, make sure y'all hydrating, y'all stretching out there, and until next time, y'all, make sure y'all order the pay-per-view. And don't miss these fireworks tomorrow night, y'all. Let's get it.